Good morning children. Today I am going to teach chapter number 5, subject geography, and the name of the chapter is industries. Secondary activities are those activities which change raw material into products of more value of people. Industry refers to an economic activity that is concerned with production of goods, extraction of minerals, or the provision of services. In this chapter, we will study about secondary activities, those activities which change raw materials into products of more value of people. Industry refers to an economic activity that is concerned with its production of goods, extraction of minerals, or the provision of services. So, we will start from the topic raw materials. Industries under this are of agro-based, mineral-based, marine-based, and forest-based. Agro-based industries means any activity involved in cultivation under controlled conditions of agricultural and horticultural crops, including floriculture and cultivation. Mineral-based product definition: for a honest product to be considered mineral-based, the quantity of its mineral ingredient has to represent more than 50% of the total. It is liquid basis. Next, forest base. Upon the type and density of vegetation growing on the land, and that land can only be known as forest if it is growing trees. Now go to the next topic, size of industries. Point number 1. Size refers to the amount of capital invested, number of people employed, and the volume of production. Point number 2. Industries based on size are classified into a small scale and large scale industries. The meaning of capital invested defined as a sum of cash acquired by a company to pursue its objectives such as continuing or growing operation. Small scale industry of limited size or extent. Extent meaning the area covered by something. Large scale industry involving large numbers or a large area. Extensive. Extensive meaning covering or affecting. Go to the next topic, small scale industries. Point number 1. Small scale industries manufacture product by hand and include cottage and household industry. These industries use lesser amount of capital and technology. Point number 2. For example, basket weaving, pottery, and other handicraft industries. So, in small scale industries, product by hand and include cottage and household industries. And in this, capital is also very less. Some example of small scale industries things are like basket weaving, pottery, and other handicraft industries. Go to the next topic, large scale industries. Point number 1. Large scale industries produce large volumes of product. The investment of capital is higher and technology is superior. Point number 2. For example, production of automobiles and heavy machinery. In large scale industries, volume of product, the investment of capital is higher and technology is superior. For example of this production are automobile and heavy machinery. Move to the next topic, and the name is ownership. On the basis of ownership, industries can be classified into the following sector: A. Private sector, B. Public sector or state owned, C. Joint sector, D. Cooperative sector. Meaning of private sector: the part of the national economy that is not under direct state control. Public sector, the part of an economy that is controlled by the state. Joint sector, applied to an undertaking only when both its ownership and control are effectively shared between public sector agencies and private groups. Cooperative sector industries are owned and managed by a group of people. Generally, the members are the producer of raw materials. For example, Amul is cooperative sector. Next topic is private sector industries. Point number 1. Private sector industries are owned and operated by individual or a group of individuals. For example, Bharat Heavy Electrical Ltd, Indian Oil Corporation. Point number 2. Public sector industries are owned and operated by the government. For example, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and Steel Authority of India Limited. Next topic is joint sector industries. Joint sector industries are owned and operated by the state, an individual or a group of individuals. For example, Maruti Udyog Limited. Next topic is cooperative sector industries. These industries are owned and operated by the producers or suppliers of raw materials, workers or both. For example, Anand Milk Union Limited and Sudha Dairy. Now we will discuss which factor affecting location of industries. Factor affecting location of industries. Point number 1. The availability of raw material, land, water, labor, power, capital, transport and market are the factors, and market are the factor affecting the location of industry. So, for set up any industry, we need all these important things like raw material, land, water, labor, power, capital, transport and market. Point number 2. Industrialization leads to development and growth of town and cities. Industrialization is one of the important factors for the development and growth of towns and cities. Next topic of the chapter is industrial region. Point number 1. Industrial region emerge when a number of industries locate close to each other and share the benefit of their closeness. Point number 2. Major industrial region tend to be located in the temperate areas near seaport and especially near coal field. Point number 3. Major industrial region of the world are Eastern North America, Western and Central Europe, Eastern Europe and Eastern Asia. Point number 4. In India, the industrial region are Mumbai, Pune, cluster Bangalore, Tamil Nadu region, Hooghly region, Ahmedabad, Baroda region, etc. So, if any two industries are near to each other, then they can share the benefits. Major industrial regions of the world are Eastern North America, Western and Central Europe, Eastern Europe and Eastern Asia. In India, the industrial regions are in Mumbai, Pune, cluster, Bangalore, Tamil Nadu region, Hooghly region, Ahmedabad, Baroda region, etc. Next topic is distribution of major industries. Point number 1. The iron and steel industry, the textile industry and the information technology industry are world's major industries. Point number 2. Iron and steel industries are located in Germany, USA, China, Japan and Russia. Point number 3. Textile industries are located in India, Hong Kong, South Korea, Japan and Taiwan. Point number 4. The Silicon Valley of Central California and Bengaluru region of India are the major hubs of information technology industry. Next topic, iron and steel industry. Point number 1. Iron and steel industry comprises various inputs, processes and outputs, and it is a mineral based industry. Point number 2. Inputs in this industry include raw materials such as iron ore, coal and limestone, labor capital and other infrastructure. In processing, iron ore is converted into steel by undergoing different stages like smelting, refining. Output results obtained is the steel. Point number 3. Steel is called the backbone of modern industry as almost everything is made of iron and steel. Point number 4. In India, iron and steel industry has developed taking advantages of raw materials, cheap labor, transport and market. Point number 5. Major steel producing centers in India are VIII, Durgapur, in place of Barnapur, mistake is there, Bampur. Its real word is Barnapur. Jamshedpur, Rourkela, Bokaro and is spread over 4 states: West Bengal, Jharkhand, Odisha and Chhattisgarh. Steel is called the backbone of modern industry. In India, iron and steel industry has developed taking advantages of raw materials, cheap labor, transport and market. The major steel producing center in India are VIII, Durgapur, Barnapur, Barnapur, Jamshedpur, Rourkela, Bokaro and these states are spreading over 4 states, that is West Bengal, Jharkhand, Odisha and Chhattisgarh. The last topic of this chapter is Information Technology, IT. Point number 1. Information technology industry deals in the storage, processing and distribution of information. Point number 2. The main factors guiding the location of these industries are resource availability, cost and infrastructure. Point number 3. The major hubs of the IT industry are the Silicon Valley, California and Bengaluru in India. Point number 4. Bengaluru is known as Silicon Plateau. Point number 5. Its hubs in metropolitan centers of India are Mumbai, New Delhi, Hyderabad and Chennai. The main factor guiding the location of these industries are resource availability, cost and infrastructure. The major HUBS hubs of the IT industry are the Silicon Valley, California and Bengaluru in India. Bengaluru is known as Silicon Plateau. Center of India are Mumbai, New Delhi, Hyderabad and Chennai. So that's all about this chapter. For any queries, text me below. Thank you.